Yeah, we back at it again. So anyway, little update, going around the shop, doing a little shop update. We've still got the buggy motor sitting down here. Got the head for that guy. Waiting from house balance for the crank and the rods and the pistons to get back balanced so that assembly can be put together. Got the head for it, cams, all that stuff. Went and picked that up the other day. Gotta hopefully just go pick up the part store to get those. Got all the parts ordered for cams, all that. We've got the Camaro back. Camaro is back. Project this time on this guy. Big roller cam, hollow fuel injection, aluminum radiator, bunch of little mini goodies in there, electronics distributor to go with the Holley system, and we're doing a complete system in this guy. Then we've got, you know, the old Jeeper up on there, you know, the old Jeeper. Got the old Jeeper up there. We'll be getting on that. That's gonna be a little footage that we're getting for you guys tonight. Also, finally got rub tub Jeepy in the way here. The old rub tub. So this guy here, we were just basically rewiring it, getting rid of all the old stuff. Basically, I mean, you can look at it and see it's a nice looking Jeep, but it's got all this shit. Rock lights that don't work. We're taking all that out. Inside, same way. Somebody threw it together. Did a pretty decent job, but a lot of the wiring and stuff's just hanging. Fuse box over here just dangling down. Freaking turn signals don't work. Indicators don't work. Half the gauges don't work. The emergency fuel shutoff don't work. The compressors in the back don't work. But yeah, this guy here, we're just basically going through and rewiring everything on this guy. Jeep sitting on 49s with a Corvette engine into it and a doubler Atlas transfer case. It's not a bad little setup. Not too bad. But like I say, we're doing all the wiring in there, and we're trying out a new system, and we're gonna see how that works out. But I got these aux beam has come out with a new set. Really nice, 60 amp. It's got twin circuit 60 amp, and then it's got 2 20s and 2 10s. So 230 amps make it really nice, because if you're running a really big light bar and or compressors and or fans or anything like that, this system will run it. Which makes it really nice, because this light bar, this rigid light bar right here, this big boy right here, is pulling 25 amps when it's running. So it's pulling a lot of amperage. It's just doing a lot of amperage. So let's get to it. We're gonna get you on the stand, and we're gonna do our attempt. We're gonna attempt to do an SYE. So we got the parts sitting here. Cover, shaft, slip yoke shaft, destructions in case we need to go through those. Well, you never know. We'll have to probably get some torque specs and stuff in there, which is really nice. They make it really nice to give you all the information of what you got to do, which is really nice. The speedo gear, the heavy shaft, new yoke for transfer case, and then all your axles, springs, slides, C-clips, locking clips, and everything else. So I've already started pulling this guy out. Get you over here so you can see what's going on. We've kind of drained it and we've pulled out the cross member, you know, out of here, got it on the transmission jack in the air, pulled the speedo, pulled the shaft off. So now I'm going to remove the cover, and then I'm going to attempt to do this in the Jeep. So I'm going to remove just the back half of it, leave it hooked to the front half. I'm going to see if I can do it. I don't know if I will, but we will see if I can do it. Hopefully I can. We'll see. We'll keep you on the stand, and we'll get snatched apart. And then if I can't do it, then you guys are going to see the fail, and then we're going to go ahead and take in we'll basically have to pull it out. I mean, it's just a couple more bolts, but I think I can leave it in there instead of taking it out. I think I can just leave it in there and do it that way. So let me get you guys on the stand, and take some footage of this. And then, like, of course, we got to clean a bunch of stuff up, and this thing's got a great big huge bend in it right there. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I got to try to straighten that out. We also, with the slip yoke, get that out. The slip yoke eliminator, we get to remove these guys. These were the spacers that they used when they put the lift on there to try to get that angle just to relieve that angle, drop that transfer case 2 inches, which then drops your motor 2 inches, which then makes issues inside. It kind of, for me, in this unit, it was really hard, you know, when it's cold. Second and fourth were really hard to get in. You really had to make sure you were in gear. If you let out on the clutch, it grind, blah, 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 because it's pushing against the tunnel. So when you raise that back up, it puts the shifter back in the center like it's supposed to be, and I think that's going to take care of our issue with second and fourth gear, not wanting to go all the way in gear. So let me get you guys on the stand. We'll get after it. We'll try to get this thing ripped apart and get you as much good footage as I can, or whatever footage I can get you. And you can be here when I fail, because I don't know if it's going to work. Never done it this way, but I'm going to attempt to do it while it's still in the truck. They say, some people say you can do it, some people say you can't. I can't find anything on the old YouTube about it, but like I say, this is a slip yoke install, slip yoke eliminator on a, and I believe if you can see that, it's a, get you out of the shadow here, it's a 231J. So that's the transfer case we're going to do it in. Bought the kit, wasn't too expensive, wasn't too terrible, but let's get you guys set up, and we'll get you, bring you along for this ride. I don't, like I say, I might fail. We're going to see. Hopefully I don't. I would like to go home tonight. All right. All right, a little update here. It's got it all pulled apart, and it's never been shown to me this way anywhere that anything that I've ever seen. So the perspective view of why to do it, you're gonna understand right this moment. So if you wheel your Jeep, I mean, so this here is the shaft that we just took out. This is, you know, this is the shaft that we're putting in. This here is the same. No difference. This here's the same, no difference. But as soon as you get here, you can look at the size difference in the shaft. Now, that right there is where the cut is for the speedo gear. This has got a spline where this speedo coupler will go on. But I mean, literally the size difference when you put them side by side. Not including the fact that this one here is, you know, 2.5 inches longer, you know, than this shaft. But the point of it is that literally your slip yoke goes right here, and I mean, you see the size of it and the size difference between that shaft. I can see where this shaft is weak. I mean, you got a couple bearings here that you ride on in the back, you know, in your back housing, in this guy, but this here is all sticking through with your slip yoke on there, which is this guy, sliding in and out on these splines. So, but this length plus the size of the shaft, I can see why it's a weak point. I mean, a lot of people don't really explain it, you know, that I have heard. People just don't explain it right. This shaft here is a hell of a lot weaker. I mean, just because of the size. I mean, you look at that, it's insane. This slip yoke will literally, and this is the slip yoke for the new one, slides all the way down to that little flared section. And I mean, it's almost able to go over that. It's just the splines inside of there cause it not to. But that's how small that shaft is. Like literally, that shaft is so small that this will slide on there with free play. I mean, it's got play in it. It's not like it's, you know, it's got plenty of room in there to room around. That by itself has got to make it stronger. There's no doubt in my mind that that there shorter, bigger diameter shaft is definitely going to make it, even if this is less quality materials than Chrysler put out. This has got to be stronger just in size alone. So, all right, guys, we'll get these gears back on here, because like I say, I don't do the old you know, oh, this is how you do it type thing. So I'm gonna get this put back together, get it thrown in there. We'll get a couple more video clips of the inside of that. I mean, my chain is good. There's the front output shaft. The chain looks good. It doesn't look stretched. The pump looks good. The O-rings look good in the pump. This is our new housing with our new bearing, and everything inside the transfer case looks good. Shift tabs, you know, you want to check all these plastic tabs on the top and the sides, you know, check those out. They all look good. Everything looks good there. So we're going to take and put her back together. Like I say, I'll bring you back here in a little bit and show you what we got, or you know, maybe get you guys the finished up view of it.
A few moments later.
All right, boys, girls, we got her done. We got her in. A little bit more issues than what we thought about, but we got her in. We got her done. I'll get down here and give you guys a little show on here. We had a bunch of things that were unforeseen at the time, so it took me a little extra longer. I had to do some trim and stuff like that. So what we got is a bunch of stuff. So let's get you turned around here and you can take a look at what we got. All right, so first off, we had to literally cut out for the exhaust, because we took that plate out from here, and so there was that tube that was right in here that separated this guy. So we took that out. Now the exhaust was hitting because where they mounted this at was too close. We got a little bit of rust in there we got to take care of. Ooh, look at that, little rusty. Little rust ain't hurt nothing. So anyway, well, we got her back in here. There she is right there. The new drive line. And the other thing that they don't tell you, and I found out, was in the paperwork they say that this shaft should be straight up and down. Like this has to be straight in order for this to work. Well, that entails a extension of your upper control arms. So like with this one here, I had to, you know, the stock control arms, it was what I had in here. So what I did was I had to buy a new set, cut the old set off with a little longer, and it was 1 inch total in length. So I had to add 1 inch to my uppers to get my pinion angle perfectly straight. So, and that should take care of any issues, vibrations, blah, 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 anything like that in the driveline. Hopefully. We will find out when we road test it. But we got her in there and she's all done. So hopefully it will stop the vibration and make it easier to get in second and fourth gear, because before I was hitting the shifter on the transmission tunnel when I was putting it in the second and in fourth. So, and then we've got gears coming for it. We were gonna put 488s into it. I couldn't decide which ones I wanted to put into it, so I just went ahead and just got the 488s. So we're gonna stick 488s into it with 35s, and we're gonna see how it does. So, but that's the next project on the old Jeep. Stay tuned for the old cheap Jeep project. We got some tube fenders coming for it, some rock sliders, and we're gonna try to get it ready. We're gonna try to hit the Rubicon Trail this year with this thing. I plan on doing it the way it is now, and then I've got future plans for long travels and stuff like that. May put in, I got a set of 60s out of a Ford F350, so I may go that route. I have not decided yet, because I still want to drive this thing. I still want to drive it. I don't want to make it like this guy, where sitting on 49s. This thing's a little bit much to drive on the street at 80 mile an hour. Now, wheeling on the trail, this thing's probably going to go everywhere and then some. This thing here, I can jump in and drive. So I can drive it to the Rubicon Trail, drive it home from the Rubicon Trail, hopefully, without any issues. But that's, like I said, that's what that was my goal with this Jeep, was to be able to wheel it and drive it there and drive it home. So we've got RCV axles coming for the Dana 30, because I'm going to push those 30s as hard as I can. I want to see how much they will take, and I want to see how much RCV axles will take. I have not seen anybody do anything with them on the internet besides install videos, but I haven't heard anything or seen anything as far as durability. I want to test them for you guys, so you guys can you know, basically rely on buying them. So okay, if I got 35s or 36s and I want to run them on a Dana 30 because I don't want to change out the factory axles, or you don't have the money to buy a 44, I can't find one, whatever it may be. So what we'll do is we'll take in, we'll push this 30 as far as we can with these 35s. And like I say, we do have two fenders coming for this, rock sliders for there, and then I've got a new set of tubular fenders because I want to get rid of this rust, get a little bit of rust here, and also over here. This guy over here is getting pretty bad. Yeah. So I've got two fenders coming for that to eliminate all of that stuff, rock sliders. And then we'll see how this one does. We'll see how this 9000 does. And if it meets the needs, then we'll just keep it. But if not, we've got a 12,000 in our back pocket that we can put on there. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Remember, like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you can get these notifications when we put these new videos up.
Let the spirit say.